The gun, the murder weapon, generally in a murder conspiracy, the investigations that happen are in great detail, and especially the acquiring of the murder weapon is investigated threadbare. But if you look at the Gandhi murder assassination investigations, how the gun reached Nathuram Godse, a gun which was the private property of the ABC of the Maharaja of Gwalior, how it reached a gun trader in Gwalior. And on 28th of January 1948, how Parchure, another Savarkarite in Gwalior, acquired that gun for Godse. Just 2 days before Nathuram used that gun to murder Bapu, has never been investigated. Because if that had been investigated properly, nothing could have saved Savarkar. Because in the Kapoor Commission's report, it is clearly established that the testimony of Damre and Kasar, two of the aides of Savarkar, in the Kapoor Commission, states that on 27th of January 1948, after the failed attempt on the 20th, Nathuram Godse and Apte came to meet Savarkar. Till that day, they did not have any clue about where they could get a weapon efficient enough to murder Bapu. And after meeting Savarkar on the morning of the 28th, they fly to Delhi, they take a train to Gwalior, reach Gwalior post midnight. The next day, Parchure helps them to get a gun. And carrying the gun, they come back to Delhi and do the deed. And it is the most efficient close-range killing weapon of its time. All the assassins all over Europe for close-range murders preferred that gun to be used. The most efficient gun of that period lands into Nathuram Godse's hand 2 days before, and the police do not investigate anything. There were many startling facts about the murder that came to light in the Kapoor Commission's report. If you read it, it's like, it's unbelievable. The amount of conspiracies that were happening, not just to murder Bapu, but to destabilize the infant nation, is unbelievable. 6 months before Bapu's murder, there is an information IB report which is made available to the Kapoor Commission, where it is stated that a meeting took place in Alwar, a principality close to New Delhi, of 5 princes of India: Bharatpur, Baroda, Gwalior, Alwar, and Kota, and the Sarsang Chalak of RSS and Savarkar, in which Nathuram Godse accompanies Savarkar. There a plan is hatched to foment a revolution, a coup d'etat, to overthrow the Indian government, seize power, and the Council of Princes becomes the governing council of India under the guidance of Savarkar and the RSS. And the signal for the national coup, revolution, is to be Gandhi's murder. And at that meeting, Godse takes the bid to murder Bapu and promises that I will do the deed to kill him. This is documented in the Kapoor Commission. The other startling fact about this conspiracy is Bapu is murdered at 5 p.m., 17 minutes past 5 p.m. on 30th January in Delhi. On the 30th of January at noon, a handbill is distributed in Alwar announcing Bapu's murder and asking the people of Alwar to celebrate, rejoice the killing of the demon of Hindu Dharma. 5 hours before the actual murder. When this is investigated, it is found out that the handbill is printed in a press in Amritsar and brought to Alwar. So imagine the information that they had much before when this deed was to happen. And yet, the authorities were absolutely unaware of the whole thing. Another startling fact that comes to light in the Hukm Commission is on the 29th, on the evening of the 29th, the CID chief of Pune is given photographs of Nathuram Godse, Apte and Bhadge when he asks his subordinates to look into the confession, the details in the confession of Madan Lal Baba, interrogation of Madan Lal Baba. His subordinate comes to him and says, "Sir, the people that Madan Lal Baba talks about are these 3 people. They are from Pune and they are under watch." He has their photographs and all their details in hand. When the Kapoor Commission asked him why he did not inform the Mumbai police and the Delhi police about the identity of the conspirators, he said, "I was worried because our system was very porous and I felt that people would, the information would be leaked and the suspects would get knowledge of it, so I did not inform them." When he was asked, "Why didn't you send police to Delhi who could identify these people and stop them before they reached Gandhi?" He said, "The Delhi police never requested us to do this." But on 31st, after Bapu is murdered, Pune police on its own sends 10 policemen to Delhi to ensure that the other accomplices of Nathuram don't attack other politicians and leaders of that time. On the 30th, Nathuram and Apte are worried that there would be police from Mumbai or Pune posted outside Birla House who would be able to identify them. So independently, both of them do a recce of the Birla House. Nathuram Godse actually enters Birla House. And Manu, who was serving Bapu, has written this account. She said that generally around noon, just before around 11 o'clock in the morning, Bapu would go and lie down in the cot, on his cot, outside his room in Birla House, basking in the sun to get warm in the Delhi winter. And we would ensure that nobody would disturb him. So on 30th, Bapu was lying on his cot, and because he was sleeping, I was doing my chores, but keeping a watch to ensure that nobody came and disturbed his sleep. And she said at one time, I came out to look at Bapu, and I saw this young man standing above Bapu, very close to him, and looking in a very strange manner at Bapu, as if in a trance. He said, I was worried that he would disturb Bapu's rest, so I came up to him and I tapped him on his shoulder and said, Bhai, Bapu is resting. She said that it felt as if that man was wrenched out of a trance, and he just shrugged and walked away without uttering a word. But she says, I remembered his eyes, they were like a bird of prey looking at his knee. And she said, in the evening, when the young man pushed me aside and I fell down and I heard the gunshots, when I looked up, I saw those eyes again. Apte and Karkare also believed that there would be police from Mumbai or Pune posted outside Birla House. So they too walked twice across the main gate of the Birla House, the Albuquerque Road, to ensure that there were no policemen from Pune or Mumbai posted there. Even the murderers were scared that they would be identified if police from Mumbai or Pune were posted outside the Birla House, not inside the Bapu had refused protection. But the policemen in Mumbai and Pune didn't bother, even though they knew that the conspiracy to murder Bapu was being hatched in Pune Pune in the Mumbai province. They did not think about it because Nagarwala, who was the chief investigator from 20th and then after the murder also, refused to accept that there was a conspiracy to murder her. And he was investigating a theory that he himself had developed, stating that there was a gang that wanted to kidnap Gandhi, hold him to ransom and force the government of India to take actions according to their requirements. And there was no conspiracy to murder her. And that is where, in the documentary, when I say it was as if a red carpet was rolled out on the Thuram to reach Bapu and murder him. All these things led to that happening. It's very easy now to criticize all that, but we must also remember one thing. India was going through a traumatic period post its independence. The division of the country had robbed the entire north of senior policemen and senior bureaucrats, because before independence, in the north, all the senior policemen and bureaucrats were Muslims. And they had all decided to go to Pakistan. And so the north faced a complete vacuum of senior experienced policemen. And to fill that, many policemen were promoted from the south and from other places and sent over there. They were just settling down. The other thing was the senior policemen in the north, who till 6 months back were arresting the freedom fighters, suddenly realized those freedom fighters had now become their bosses. And they could not reconcile with that. So there was a miscommunication or a kind of animus and distrust between the politicians and the police. And all this together created the situation where this very astonishing, unbelievable murder happened so easily. So although I make allegations against the government of that time, I accuse them of complacency. Circumstances also contributed.
What are the information in the Roman Street? At that time, the Roman Street was to play the role.
Yeah.
So what are the information that says Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel had?
Well, I think he should have had access to all the intelligence reports that were coming over there. Morarji Desai, on the 21st, Morarji Desai was told by Professor J.C. Jain, who taught in the Khalsa College in Mumbai and who was very close to Madan Lal Baba, went to Morarji Desai and informed him that he knew Madan Lal Baba and he knew that he was a member of a gang of people who were committed, who were all Savarkarites, who were committed to murdering Bapu. And he said, please take steps. Professor J.C. Jain has written a book in which the title of the book is I Could Not Save Gandhi, in which he narrates this. And even in the Kapoor Commission, when J.C. Jain and Morarji Desai were interrogated, they fought with each other. Morarji Desai called him a liar, and J.C. Jain called Morarji Desai a conspirator. Morarji Desai said in his testimony that when he went to Ahmedabad on the 21st, he informed Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel about this conspiracy and the role of Savarkar and everything. But in the Kapoor Commission, when Sardar Patel's daughter and secretary had interrogated, they said no, there was no information shared by Morarji Desai. So there's a lot of lacuna in what happened at that time, and then in the Kapoor Commission. The most astonishing fact was that after Bapu's murder, Jayaprakash Narayan and Brahmana Lohiya carried out a public campaign against Sardar Patel, accusing him of being accomplice in Bapu's murder and demanding his resignation. In public rallies, Sardar Patel himself has mentioned that Bapu, I have not been pained by Bapu's death as much as the allegations made against him. And his first heart attack is attributed to this attack by Jayaprakash Narayan and Brahmana Lohiya. When Jayaprakash Narayan was summoned by the Kapoor Commission and asked to give his statement at the Kapoor Commission as to why he was so vehemently against Sardar Patel. He pleaded amnesia and he said, too much time has passed, I don't remember anything. And he did not mention what he knew at that time. And remember this, it was post that Jayaprakash Narayan led the entire movement of people against Indira Gandhi's emergency. So his pleading of amnesia and dementia was not there. But there is no explanation for this kind of sudden change of rule. I think the Hindu thing was just an excuse. The reality was the Brahminical supremacy in independent India. And that is why the attempt in 1934 takes place. At that time there is no talk of Pakistan, there is no talk of anything else. Bapu is going across India for the emancipation of Harijans, for the emancipation of Dalits. When the first known attempt on his life in Pune takes place. Now Pune was the adda of the Savarkarite Hindutva forces, Sanatani Dharma, and the Brahminical supremacy, the seat of power of the Peshwas. It is very significant that the first documented attempt on Bapu's life happens in Pune. And then all the attempts that are shown are linked with that attempt, with Pune in some way or the other. The train derailment, there is a very funny by-story to it. Bapu, in his public meeting after the attempt, talks about how people have been trying to kill him and talks about why, if they want to kill him, they should come and kill him straight off. Why do they put the lives of people traveling with him at jeopardy? And then in his own humorous way, he says that I would like to tell those who want to kill me that I am going to live for 125 years, so they should not waste their energy. They can't kill me before that. 2 days later, at a public meeting of the Hindu Mass, Nathuram Godse stands up on the dais and he says in Marathi, he says, Gandhi म्हणतात की ते 125 वर्ष जगणार आहेत, पण त्यांना तेवढं जगू देतंय कोण? He makes this statement in public, which is reported to the Kapoor Commission. The statement in English means that Gandhi claims that he is going to live for 125 years, but who's going to let him live that long? The statement is made by Nathuram Godse. The other thing that you must remember, which points to the conspiracy, is if you read the editorials that Nathuram Godse wrote and published in his magazines Agrani and Hindu Rashtra, you will notice that the language is very uncouth, brutal and abusive. He does not have the finesse of language. But when you read his statement in court, it is a very sophisticated, early written statement engineered to raise passion of people who listen to it. And at that time, there was only one person who had that ability, and that was Savarkar. And you must remember that for the entire period of the trial, Savarkar and Nathuram were incarcerated in the special jail that was created in the barracks in Bedford. On the first floor was the court, on the ground floor was the cells to hold the prisoners. And all the accused were kept over there under tight security. And on the first day of trial, Nathuram Godse moved an application in court requesting that conversations between the accused must not be monitored by the police. And he said that we must be allowed to pass notes between us. And then this entire polished, manipulative document emerges, which Nathuram claims that it is his own. The voice is of Nathuram, the words are definitely of Savarkar. You can go and read in the archives, you can go and read the editorials that Nathuram has published in his magazine, and then read his statement in court, and you will realize the difference in languages. Savarkar and Nathuram both realized that after the murder, the world's attention is going to be on the trial. And whatever is said in that court will be reported and recorded for eternity. And they exploit that opportunity in the Red Fort trial and in the appeal in Ambala, in the Punjab and Haryana High Court. They take that opportunity to take advantage of that situation. The justices of the High Court who are hearing the appeal, Justice Khosla writes in his book, in his memoir, there is a chapter, The Men Who Killed Gandhi. He writes that on that day when Nathuram finished reading his statement, there was not a dry eye in the courtroom. And he said, if I had converted the audience in the courtroom that day into a jury, they would have all pronounced Nathuram Godse not guilty and acquitted. That statement is used by the Godseites and Savarkarites even today to say, look, even the justice believed in Nathuram. They conveniently omit the next line in which the judge, Justice Khosla, writes, but a very consummate actor was playing to the gallery, knowing that the spotlight was on him. And it was an act of manipulation. That is the kind of exploitation of opportunity given to the murderers of Gandhi that was done in that time. Until today, that document is used by the Hindutva forces to justify the murder of Mahatma Gandhi.
After the 20th of Jan attack, the state should have actually had civil laws men around Gandhi. What on earth was happening? I understand beyond.
Well, they claimed that they were scared that if they enforced the security code on Babu, he would go on a fast unto death and defy them. But in the Kapoor Commission's testimony, many senior policemen were questioned about what is the standard procedure for providing security by the police. And they said, we never listen to the requirements of the person that we are going to protect.